Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives reveals that Marlena Evans found that John Black was not home when she returned from work. She called him and learned that he went for a walk when he couldn't sleep. Stephanie and Everett's bedroom twist, Steve's secret alarms John. After Marlena called Steve Johnson to go mind her better half in the town square, John immediately sorted out that Doc must have sent him. Steve revealed to John that Konstantin Maliunis was aware of the pawn after they discussed the missing memories. John was shocked by that news, and he agreed with Steve about the need for strategic handling. At the bar on Monday's Days episode, Kate Roberts Brady and Roman Brady thought somebody broke in from the outset, however at that point they understood Harris Michaels was the one hiding around. Since Kate was resentful about Statesville forgetting about Lucas, Horton Harris took her higher up alongside Roman and showed them that Lucas was hanging out higher up. Roman agreed to take in Lucas and reassured him that Lucas was brave for trying to help with the Salem drug crisis. Harris made it clear that Lucas's location had to remain low-key and that Lucas would have to serve the remainder of his sentence once the threat was eliminated. Steve met Harris in the town square while Kate helped Lucas get ready for bed, but neither of them opened up about their problems. At Teresa Donovan and Alex Kiriaki's place, they discussed what they were doing at the clinic. Alex admitted that he had a late-night treatment meeting with Marlena, so Teresa said she had somewhat of a treatment meeting with Kayla Johnson as well. Teresa wanted to get away from what they were talking about at those sessions by doing something fun. Alex consented to play Truth or Dare with Teresa, so they began with senseless inquiries like who Alex's most memorable crush was, and he addressed that it was Lindsay Lohan. Teresa got awkward when Alex got some information about the most horrendously terrible falsehood that she at any point told, so she selected a challenge and wound up singing noisily subsequently. On Monday's DOL show, Alex joined in and the neighbor complained, so Alex and Teresa decided to end the game. In spite of the fact that Teresa at first proposed she ought to go in her own room and attempt to get some rest, she adjusted her perspective and headed in Alex's space to end the night on a more sizzling note. On Monday's Days, Everett Lynch frightened Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, in his suite by hinting at the risky confession he had to make. Everett had previously discussed going to see Stephanie with her friends, but he soon realized that what he had to say needed to be said in private. Despite the fact that Everett regarded Stephanie's limits, he recognized that he was battling in the companion zone since he actually adored her and needed to be together. Stephanie focused on faulting herself for Everett ghosting her, so he was upset for the aggravation she went through and needed to make it dependent upon her. Despite the fact that Stephanie asked why Everett's family didn't attempt to find him, he advised her that he lost his mother when he was youthful and his father was an alcoholic. Everett's more distant family lived on the opposite side of the nation, so he wasn't close with them by the same token. On Monday's Days episode, Everett likewise discussed being determined to have retrograde amnesia when he originally awakened from his trance state. Stephanie was the main thing Everett recollected with any lucidity, so she assisted him with finding his motivation once more, and that welcomed him to Salem, determined to rejoin with her. After Everett imparted a kiss to Stephanie, he requested that she stay the night with him. Stephanie wasn't prepared to warm things up any further, however Everett demanded he simply needed to lay down with her in his arms. Since Stephanie felt that sounded decent, she kept her garments on alongside Everett as they cuddled together on top of the covers. Days of Our Lives say Stephanie Everett actually have a ton to sort out. Rafe and Harris rest on Ava and Stefan about working for Clyde. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates bother Rafe Hernandez and Harris Michaels will rest on Ava Vitali hard. They take them in to be interrogated with respect to their jobs in Clyde Weston's medication ring. Days of Our Lives they were there, so people of interest Ava and Stefan had been attempting to prevent the bistro from receiving negative press since Holly Jonas' overdose. The last thing they need is for the customary eatery clients to quit coming, since it would cause more undesirable to notice different clients. If a drug business is all there is, you can't have a front for one. That's a surefire way to get busted for any illegal business. Days of Our Lives Rafe and Harris rest on Ava and Stefan about working for Clyde. Ava had attempted to persuade Harris before that they had no medications going through the business, in spite of the fact that there had been excesses and sellers outside. He had attempted to inspire her to concede specific things to him so he could help her, yet Ava's stuck Clyde has been extorting her with harming her main living child. DOL Stefan Di Mera no record Ava Vitali a record. Stefan doesn't have a record or any priors concerning drug charges, yet Ava had been in the medication business before a long queue of priors from Philadelphia to Salem. After she arrived in Salem and became involved with him and, later, Jake Di Mera, Rafe realizes that she had attempted to leave immediately. It was her more youthful child Charlie Dale who had been both her terrorizer and her ruin, later killed, and she had been addressed in that. In the end, it was discovered that Jan Spears had killed him in an effort to implicate Belle Black. On the other hand, evidence suggests that Clyde used the bistro as a cover for his drug ring, and that Stefan and Ava were involved. Days of our lives they're not talking. Stefan and Ava aren't talking other than to endlessly deny some more that they're engaged with the medication business that is occurring around their eatery. Because no one wants to go there because they are afraid of criminal activity, they just want the bad press to stop and their legitimate business to come back. Ava at long last landed the position she needed and she's great at cooking delightful food sources for thankful individuals. And now, drug dealers are ruining it for them, making the police and even two of Ava's former boyfriends suspicious. What Ava detests most about the entire circumstances in the event that Clyde hadn't extorted her, Harris and she were fostering a truly beneficial thing. Heat up, Stefan and Ava. In the cold of winter, Salem is warming up this week on Days of Our Lives. Steve tells John not to talk about Constantine, Roman is told to keep quiet, Everett talks to Stephanie, Lucas is out of prison, Chad gives Johnny some unasked for advice, and rage turns to passion for Ava and Stefan. Since Constantine first arrived in Salem, John and Steve have been suspicious of him. However, it now appears that the elderly man has more secrets than anyone could have imagined. He is familiar with the pawn, Steve cautions John, who answers, "What?" What's more, later, in bed with Kayla, Steve concedes, "I smell," she cuts in and completes his sentence. "Inconvenience," she concurs. Outside Brady's bar, Roman and Kate are surprised to see a shadowy figure running about inside the shut foundation. "What on God's green earth?" she shouts out. Additionally, Harris tells Roman, nobody can figure it out. Would he say he is looking at holding Lucas undercover? Since the person is most certainly out of jail as he meets with Chad and Everett to illuminate the newsman, I have quite a story to tell you. In an emotional confession, Everett tells Stephanie about his heart and insists, "I sincerely regret hurting you." Might a gathering at some point be possible for these two? Johnny and Chanel are cheerfully planning to remarry, however, Chad cautions the Di Mera to keep an eye out. He declares, "Keep her as far away from you as possible if you really love Chanel." But does Chad really think that all of the men from Di Mera are doomed to heartbreak? There's a slim line among adoration and disdain, and Stefan and Ava are going to cross it. The pair have been faking a relationship to lose Harris and the police while they are compelled to run drugs for Clyde. Be that as it may, things are getting genuine. Over the phone, Stefan yells, "I don't think I've ever seen a woman with as little sex appeal as you," and Ava rolls her eyes. Be that as it may, when Stefan appears at her entryway, the two end up getting warmed and she rips off his shirt before they share an enthusiastic kiss. Could this at any point truly be occurring?